Hey everybody, it's Ken. How are you? Thanks for tuning in. This is going to be a talk not just by me, but I have a special guest coming on later. She's the one with the important things to say. I'm just trying to facilitate this. More on that later. I do want to start by sending some special happy shout-outs. My parents just celebrated their 40th wedding anniversary. Congratulations to them. Big birthday month for my family, my brother, my mother, niece and nephew. Happy birthday to all of them. I want to send a special congratulations to my friend Dean Proctor, high school friend, who's a minister. And he just got the calling to go out to a church in Charlottetown. So congratulations on that, and I hope the move goes smooth, pal. I also want to talk about COVID and musicians. It's been a rotten time to be a musician. It really has. I know kind of what I do has been affected by that. And again, I'll explain more as we go. But I do want to send a special shout out to a few people. Sarah Smith is one of them. She has been, she's had to cancel a couple European tours, a tour through the States, everything else, but she has still been busy with her music. She's been writing jingles for companies. She's been doing a lot of online concerts. You may have caught one. If not, check out Sarah Smith. And I think Sarah's got some more music coming out, some new music coming out soon. So I know she's been working on a few things. So more information on all that later. Check out her page, sarahsmithmusic.com. I also want to talk about a band called Classic Albums Live. They're huge. They normally tour North America. They're nonstop musicians, professional musicians. I've had the good fortune of a few of those members play Kenny Iguanas at one time. Troy Feener, who's an amazing drummer. They just did one of the Who albums, and Troy just killed the drums for that. If people know the Who, they know what the drums are like in that with Keith Moon's stuff. It's just, he did an amazing job. Troy, hats off to you. Another musician is Will Hare, who's an incredible keyboardist, and the musical director, Rob Phillips. He's also a guitar player. They're just amazing. If it takes 5 guitar players to reproduce an album like Queen Night at the Opera, then you'll see the concert with 5 guitar players on stage. They do it note for note, cut for cut, track for track, Classic Albums Live. What they've been doing is every Wednesday at 8 o'clock, they've been doing a concert. And it's the same way that they would do a concert if you went to see them at Centennial Hall in London or somewhere like that. They pick an album and they do it front to back. This Wednesday at 8 o'clock is Led Zeppelin's Houses of the Holy. Great album, and like I said, they're great musicians. It's a free show. However, there's also a tip jar. They're trying to stay as working musicians. Check out the concert. The sound is incredible. They're doing it in the Empire Theater in, I believe it's either Napanee or Belleville, up that way. Check out the concert every Wednesday, starting at 8 o'clock. So Classic Albums Live, you can find them on Facebook. I do want to talk about the divide that we seem to have in our country, and as well the divide to our neighbors in the South. It's really strange to me why we as Canadians are so engaged in the U.S. election. We always have, and I know the excuse is going to come up, well, they're our closest neighbor and we're tied to their economy. I get that, but we always have been. But we always haven't been this engaged into their elections. We pick sides. We've drawn lines. There's one house that I passed who the guy was flying a Trump flag in his yard, so the neighbor put a big Biden sign out front. They're not Americans. They can't affect the vote, but yet they felt the need to put up these flags, and it's really, it's been terrible the way that their election has divided us as neighbors. And I bring that up because I want to talk about the mask debate. I'm no doctor. I'm no civil rights or human rights lawyer, although I do have a computer, and like most people out there, like some people out there, they do think they're doctors and lawyers just because they have a Google search engine on their computer. The debate is something like I've never seen in our country. The mask issue isn't just if it works. There are a lot of studies out there saying that to wear the mask, and that's why it's been mandatory. Now, there are also studies saying that the masks don't do anything, but that's really not the point with our country. The point is, why wouldn't we wear a mask? Why is it such a violation of my rights that I decide to wear a mask and somebody doesn't because it's violating their rights? I don't understand. We used to do things for our neighbors. We used to support one another, and that support is dwindling across the country. We don't give a shit about our neighbors anymore. What happened in Elmer is just, it really just blew my mind. Elmer is a great community. And it just doesn't point to a certain church in Elmer either. Because there are two leaders of the mask debate, and I don't believe they even go to that church. I'm not sure why we want to divide our communities the way they are dividing their community. My neighbor has cancer, and if he feels safer when I talk to him and I have a mask on, whether it works or not, if he feels safer, why wouldn't I put a mask on for him? Not for me, for him. Why would I go to a store where masks are mandatory and not put a mask on and say, oh, I have a medical exemption? There are medical exemptions and there are medical reasons out there, but honestly, few and far between. They really are. A doctor was cited by explaining the reasons why you wouldn't have to have a mask on. And it isn't just because you have asthma, it isn't just because, there are extensive reasons why you wouldn't wear a mask. And I can't imagine making up the line saying, it's a medical reason, I just don't want to wear it. And then blaming it on, it's a violation of your civil rights. We should be doing stuff for our neighbors. And for a church to be standing up and saying, and not supporting your neighbor as a church, as a religious organization saying, I don't care about it's what's for me. Is that what we've become now, a for me society? Like I said, this isn't just going to be me talking. I'm going to bring a special guest on. I want to be upfront and say this also isn't live because I wanted to give my guest the opportunity to edit anything out that she said. My guest has had COVID. My sister has had COVID. I'm very fortunate, she's very fortunate that it didn't end up being a bad case. But my guest, who I'm bringing on through Zoom, she had a bad case of it. And I just want her to explain what she went through to you, because some people out there don't know anybody that's ever had it. So I want to bring my guest on. So hang tight. Let me hook this up, and we'll be right back. Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Ken. I'm back. I mentioned I'd be back with a guest. My guest has personally experienced COVID. I have a sister that's gone through COVID, but nothing. She didn't experience anything like my guest. Um, my guest has asked me if she could do this kind of confidentially, and I respect that privacy issue. So I'll be calling her guest. And maybe guest, thanks for being here and telling your story.
No problem at all. If I can help anybody, that's what I'm here to do.
So, did you get symptoms in the beginning? How long ago did this whole thing start for you?
I started developing. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
Okay. I started developing symptoms at the end of March. I'm not a person to take medications for pain or anything like that, but all of a sudden my body hurt. I started having really dizzy spells. Like, honestly, I thought I was going to fall over. And headache, really bad headache. And that's how it started for me. And that was all the day before that I was tested.
So this is in the early days of the pandemic back in March. And so when you developed these symptoms, did you right away think, well, I've got it, or?
No, I did not think that I had it. I was like, as if, like, this couldn't happen to me. Like, how?
Okay, then, so you went and got tested, and the test came back positive?
I got tested not once. I got tested twice. I found out on April 1st that I tested positive. And from there, I just really, I really didn't understand the impact of this virus at that time because it was just new to us here in Canada.
Right.
And yeah, I really didn't think anything of it. I knew that it was a respiratory infection. It did not affect me that way. I really don't know how, because I do suffer from asthma. So that was my biggest worry. But after about 11 days of having the virus, I thought, oh, what a breeze. It's, I'm pretty much over it. But what you don't realize is once you're tested and you come back with a positive result, public health contacts you every single day. They want to know your symptoms. It's not a small chat either. It's like about 15, 20 minutes.
Wow.
So I was very willing to participate because it was new. Nobody knew anything about it. And like everything that I went through, she asked me. And after 11 days, we really thought I was recovered because I had 2 good days.
Okay.
There wasn't many times, like I did suffer with asthma issues, but I did ask at what point should I be going to the hospital. But I never made it that way with the asthma part. So I was recovered, basically, considering what public health considers recovered. Not the same thing as I consider recovered, but I'll explain that later.
Okay.
Recovered meaning I didn't have any symptoms for 2 days. I had a virtual doctor's appointment with my doctor on, I think it was a Tuesday morning. And I felt great. I felt fine. 2:00, and I'll never forget that hour. At 2:00 that same day, I had the most intense stomach cramps. And that's when it started, my week of freaking horror.
So after 11 days, you were fine for 2,
Yep.
and then you developed these other symptoms.
Yes. And these symptoms weren't even known then of COVID, but it's now come out that this has a lot to do with it as well. Mine was all gastrointestinal. Like my stomach felt like it was so bloated, burping, diarrhea, constant vomiting, constant stomach pain. It was like the worst. And I'm not joking when I say this. After the second or third day of this, I begged to die. Like it was terrible. It was the worst thing I've ever been to. When I went to the hospital twice during that week, I had to. I couldn't keep anything in me. I told them that I just wanted to die. It was just so bad.
I know you've suffered other effects from this besides that. I know your hair started to fall out.
Oh, well, yeah, my hair fell out. I lost about half my hair. Thank God I have a lot of it. But hair loss is common when you have a major traumatic something to your system. So I don't really consider it related to COVID, but yeah, hair loss. Oh my gosh, by the clumps, it was just terrible.
I know Melissa Milano, I think that's her name. She was in one of the 80s sitcoms, and then
Okay.
kind of a
Yeah.
model afterwards. She went through this hair loss thing.
Yes.
You know,
Like it literally falls out in clumps. But my doctor reassured me I wouldn't go bald. It would grow back, but wow, it's just half the head of hair I used to have. But
and how are you feeling now?
Well, this is April 1st. I got tested positive, and today is November 13th. I get a lot of moments of I can't find the words I'm looking for, like a lot of brain fog. That if anybody's been following the long haulers, it's like, wow, I'm experiencing the same things that millions of other people around the world, or hundreds of thousands anyways, are going through the same thing. It just doesn't know. This virus doesn't know boundaries. I'm short of breath at times, which is not normal for me. Even though I do have asthma, it's very controlled. And I do have a good lung capacity. But I'm tired all the time.
I read a post that you had difficulty even standing in the shower for a while.
Oh, yeah. That to me is a chore. Like having a shower is I'm totally wiped out. Like I'm just totally wiped out.
It's incredible when you actually get diagnosed April 1st, and like you say, it's November 13th now, and you're still suffering the side effects. So what would you say to the people who say it's just a bad flu, or it's no worse than a flu?
It's not a bad flu, people. People are dying. And I'm not an old person, but I do have asthma, and I am high risk. And this is nothing to joke about. It is not a flu. This is like a pandemic, people. We haven't survived through this in our age, and it's very hard for people to understand that we are actually going through this because we have so much technology. People think they know it all, but you know what? You just have to do what they say. They're not dumb. The top doctors know what they're talking about. And all of these compilations of I'm having trouble with words. I can't think of this. The symptoms. It's been growing and growing and growing since day one.
Yeah.
There is no end to this.
The list of symptoms for
yes.
COVID is is pretty much everything. It's a big bucket of symptoms.
Absolutely.
And the spectrum is, like you said, you didn't have the respiratory part of it.
No, I didn't, thank God. Because you see these people that don't even have asthma that are on ventilators. Like I really feel for these people. I don't know. Like it's just it's a whole realm of things, even heart, stroke.
Yeah.
So just for example, like when I was finally better after the week of wanting to die, because it was that bad.
Did you think you might die? Like were you
Yeah,
worried about your?
I actually did, because I do have some heart issues, like irregular heartbeat and things. But thankfully, I have a cardiologist already. He's so great, and he did all the testing on me just a couple of months ago, and he said that everything, thankfully, is good. But he wants to test me again in another year, like especially the muscle around the heart and stuff like that. But thankfully, I mean, things could have been so much worse for me. Like, just
For sure.
thank goodness.
Um, so as we're going into the weekend, we have this group of anti-maskers that have already been in Elmer. These people that won't wear a mask for their neighbor because it's a violation of their right. Personally, I think it's a violation of my rights and your
Absolutely.
rights that they're not wearing the mask. However, here comes this group of anti-maskers in. What message, if you could be on the stage in front of them, what message would you give to them?
To them? Well, I don't really have a message for them, Ken, that could, that would be nice. But I do have a message for the people of St. Thomas. Do not attend. Close your stores. Don't give them anywhere to go to the bathroom, because, my God, COVID in the sewer systems, it's there. Do not let them use your, like, just close down. And, like, don't engage. I don't know what else to say. It just flabbergasts me that people are actually that, I don't want to say stupid, but brainwashed. I don't know, but I just don't understand it. Wear the mask. You know what? I have a hard time wearing a mask. Like, as you can tell right now, you can probably tell, like, my voice is rough. That's from coughing from asthma. My voice, my breath is a little bit labored. Like, I can't catch it sometimes. But you know what? I wear that damn mask. It makes me hot, makes me sweaty, makes me uncomfortable. But you know what? If I can't wear it, I just simply stay home.
And that's probably the message that, you know,
absolutely.
If you're that medically impaired, order your groceries, have a friend deliver them, leave them on your porch. I don't want you to spread COVID to me, COVID to my guests, COVID
Right.
to my parents, COVID
Right.
to anybody else.
Absolutely.
It's wear a mask.
It's not that hard. If I can do it, anybody can do it.
Exactly. It's just, I don't really believe it's because of medical reasons. I think it's just people wanting to make a statement. People
Absolutely.
wanting 15 minutes of fame. A certain church group wanting to make the papers again. It's terrible. There used to be a time, especially around here, where we used to look out for our neighbors, and there's a group that doesn't care about our neighbors now, and it doesn't know the meaning of community.
No.
How do you think we've done in general as a province?
Well, I think we've done very well here in Canada, and I think we should be very proud of that. But once again, it's those people that think that they are invincible, and you know what? You're not. I'm sorry. And some people have underlying illnesses that they don't even know about. Like you'll see the healthiest of people dying. And I know the numbers of people dying are not high enough for people to warrant panic, as I call it, but it is something to panic about. Especially like for the people that saying, oh, it just needs to spread around. We need to become immune to it. That is not how this works.
Right.
This is not a common cold.
Absolutely.
This
Well,
is not.
thanks for taking time out of your day and coming to talk. I hope St. Thomas doesn't show up. I hope nobody shows up to this rally. I hope the organizers get fined. I just think it's awful what's happening. And
I really hope so too, Ken.
I wish those people could be part of our community. We're all affected. We're all affected
Absolutely.
by this COVID.
Just work together. Like you can pretty much say right now, I read the news today, Ken. They're expecting about 6,500 cases a day in Ontario in a month from now. So, you know what? It's those people that are complaining because they don't have the freedoms that they want that are taking away their freedoms. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, you know, you won't be able to celebrate Christmas with your families. I know I won't.
Yeah.
Like my parents aren't taking the chance, and I don't want to take the chance. I'm not immune to this again. I'm not getting it again. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's right. It's not something you get and you won't get again. They're saying you can get this multiple times.
I thought at the beginning, I thought I was invincible as well. Oh, I've already had it and I lived through it and blah, blah, blah. But no. And I'm not done living with it. We don't know what's going to happen. Like 2 years from now, things could take a drastic turn. Like, I don't know.
Right.
This is something that we don't know. Even the medical community doesn't know.
Yeah, it's like the symptoms. We don't know. There's a pile
Absolutely.
of symptoms you get. It's not just respiratory, as
Absolutely.
you've demonstrated. Well, Gus, I'd like to.
I'm just going to point out the symptoms for me. Like I said, achy body, headache every single freaking day, and loss of taste.
Oh, really? Okay, you've had the loss of taste.
Oh, that is the number one right there.
Really? Okay.
And I didn't have a cold. Like it wasn't like a cold for me. It was just different. But yeah, I suffered from that for a long time. And you know what? Still to this day, like sometimes I can't smell something or I can't taste it right like I used to. Like it's just weird. It picks its times to show up. And then it goes. It's just.
Okay, what I'm going to do is have comments listed under this, and if anybody has any questions, list your comment, and I will privately message my guest if it's something she can answer.
Absolutely.
But thank you for doing this. I really appreciate you.
You know what?
Taking
You don't have to thank me. I just want the people to realize that it's not made up. It's not fake. It is real. And pretty soon, we're all going to know somebody in this situation. And you know what? It's just very sad. So please, wear the mask, sanitize, be careful.
And with that, we're out. Thanks very much. Thanks, guest. Have a good day, everybody.